Welcome to the Paradigm Shift, episode 81, live from Chicago. 81! Sounds good. It's a nice number. We got a big special treat on today. A New York sports legend, no big deal. And Big Dave, I see you hopping on right now. You sex octopus. Let's bring you on and let's get this party started. How's everybody doing? If you don't mind, drop your current state from 1 to 10 in the chat. Because obviously me and Dave take full accountability and responsibility to have you flying 12 out of ship episode 81. Let's get nuts.
So let's see what's go.
There he is. How you doing, you sex bat?
Hey, that's not an alliteration, sex bat. So that's beautiful. I'll be the beautiful bat, and you'll be Seagull, the eagle, flying in Chicago, high above, as he's going to be in a big race tomorrow morning, I believe. If that's correct.
Yeah, it's a nice city, Dave. Gotta tell you.
Tell me you have not. This is your first time in Chicago?
Yeah, pretty much. Other than a layover, yeah.
Oh my goodness, you're living in a shell. That
I'm
just
not.
goes to
I'm
show
not
you.
a global keynote speaker yet, just like you.
Yeah.
On the way though.
Yeah, you're on your way. Trust me. And I just got back at 1 a.m. from the Bahamas. Not the Bahamas, Barbados, in the Caribbean, about 200 miles from Trinidad. And they had FinTech Island. And really, it's amazing how through technology, these small companies are really capable of reinventing themselves, redeveloping themselves, and more cannibalizing a lot of the world's economy.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm excited to travel with you later next month to Portugal.
Absolutely, buddy. And hopefully we'll see you maybe even in Las Vegas before that. We got a few things going on, but you're going to be speaking and emceeing at the biggest conference in the world, Web Summit. So we'll be in front of 70,000 people. I also, they've given me a little bit of podcast space there right in front of the main stage. So you might get a few, not only interviews with me, but I can't handle the amount of requests. So I was hoping maybe you would also be able to do some content with some of the world thought leaders around the world, the executives around the world, the celebrities, athletes, and entertainers like Neil Patel, some other people. It'll be the best networking of any show you've ever been to. That's what I promise for you.
Oh, I believe it 100%. And I'm honored to be there. And to be honest with you, all that stuff's going to be great for the CLS brand. No secrets there. But what I'm most excited about, Dave, is just spending quality time with you. It seems like every time we spend more time together, like the romance grows even more. I love you so much. I can't wait.
I call it the growmance now because we're growing so close. And I hope your fiance doesn't get as jealous as my wife do.
Alessia, are you jealous of Dave? Let's get this party started. We got Dave Tyree coming on momentarily. Big fan. I am. Gave us a Super Bowl. No big deal. But before we bring him on, we're going to bring him on less than 2 minutes. Dave, I wanted to ask you this. One thing that you talk about a lot is participating in the perception. And I was curious. I was wondering, because you often say not to do that. I was wondering if participating in the perception could actually be a positive if your perception is to increase your self-belief.
Yeah, it is. I don't say just, it's not what I say, it's what people hear. So I appreciate when you're all over my content and you're kind of allowing me to clarify that. So participating in a perception is accountability if we learn something from it. And so what we want to do is realize, how are we participating in the perception? Are we participating in the trajectory of what we think we want? Or are we participating in an accelerated trajectory, creating void shortages and obstacles, resistance to what we want? And so we're always participating in a perception. Are we participating in the trajectory of what we want is the question. And how are we participating in other people's perception? Because so many times, and I see it on your face when I have a constructive thing to say to make you better. And the participation in the perception would be, I'm so blessed that Dave cares so much about me that he takes the time to watch my shit or analyze what I'm doing and make me better so I can help change the world, instead of, oh, Dave's looking down on me, or F Dave. And look, I coach a lot of people and I see it in their face or I see it in their activity. that they're participating in the wrong perception. That they think somehow that when I'm helping them constructively because I have prioritized them in my life, that somehow I'm trying to damage them or hurt them or look down on them or judge them or put conditions on them. And to be honest, it's one of the most frustrating things about having the intention that I have and being and trying to empower others, especially as you get bigger and bigger, where more people want to work with you. You on the other side start participating in perception like, F this guy, I'll go work with somebody else, bigger name, bigger people that will listen to me and participate in the perception of positivity.
Yeah, that's awesome. And also, like for the audience listening today, something that I've really had to work through and I'm still working on it is this. There's a big misconception that the truth hurts, right? But I think for successful people, the truth helps, right? Because that could be your competitive advantage. If you understand that the truth is just feedback, as long as you're getting truth from the right people, like I am, Dave, and so forth, it's actually a cheat code. It's a competitive advantage because it's feedback so that you can improve and get better. Obviously, it requires removing the ego a little bit so that you can be available for the truth and the feedback.
Yeah, and that's that 10-80 10 rule, that 10% of things just resonate with us, 10% of the things are going to offend us, and 80% of the things we have to learn more about by asking open-ended questions about. And so, the other day someone made a comment to me, like, at first, I thought, you cry a lot, and I thought that was weak. And they didn't like me because of that I express my emotions to me. Crying especially is like perspiration. It just means that I'm too connected and my human physiology can't control or contain the amount of emotion. So I cry just like I perspire when my body can't handle the heat. So, but I learned something, because in my perception or participation, I thought everybody's like, oh, that, he's being real, but it's not. Some people still look upon the fact that I get emotional as weakness.
Yeah, understood. I'm glad you clarified that. We're going to bring on Dave Tyree right now. I'm super excited. I know the audience keeps asking if you can track me tomorrow on the Chicago Marathon. The answer is yes. All you have to do is download the Chicago Marathon app. And we're going to take off about, I would say, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. And we're going to have a lot of fun. It's not going to be pretty, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's bring on Big Dave Tyree.
Oh my goodness, what's up, D?
Look at these handsome studs over here, man. How we doing, crew?
I'm doing great. I was thinking about it the other day, Craig. You gotta hear this. I said, one person in the world that is most indebted to this unbelievable spirit of David Tyree has to be Eli Manning. Because if David doesn't make that one catch, I'm not sure that Eli's getting into the Hall of Fame someday. I'm not sure he has that notoriety. I'm not sure his brother even respects him. Anyway, this is such a treat, man. Good morning, and just excited to sit next to you.
No, I appreciate it, man. That's a lengthy conversation, but we'll table that for another time.
All right.
Dave, I'm such a fan. I'm a New Yorker myself, so I owe a ton of gratitude to you. But I'm excited to chop it up with you, brother, and I'm excited to connect further. Let's start it up. You ready to rock?
Oh, let's do this, man. We're here.
Like us, one thing that you're really big on, and you've been able to really make the transition from the NFL, is your purpose is to make an impact and to serve and to contribute, and you do it so well. I'm just curious, was this always a big part of you, or was this something that you kind of came into a little bit later, like after your football career?
Yeah, I think when you understand the opportunity of influence as an athlete, there's a portion of you that understands the sense of indebtedness and service. But the matriculation from being a young man to a mature adult is a process. So whether it's foundation, I think as you evolve, myself, I have a large family, 7 children, and that's sacred. So I do that with a lot of intention, and then that flows, right? You want to live life from the inside out, and hopefully your life is an extension of a well-intentioned, seasoned life that actually has a bit of overflow, where that begins to expand out to your relationships, your network, and your community, and so on and so forth. So it's become very intentional, even as a young man. But I think, as I've grown as a professional, and just as a leader and servant, it's getting there. It's mature.
Dave, talk about frequencies, your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh, the day I met David and sat down with him, you know what I thought about is that he is a man. David means beloved. My name means beloved servant, and
That's
he
right.
is a beloved servant. But what I have found, because we've circled in the same frequency for a long time with celebrities, athletes, entertainers, billionaires, and millionaires, is that there's a relativity to service. And one of the special things about David that I try my best as well is the relativity of service, meaning that he's of service to his wife. He's of service to his 7 children, to his local community, to the country and the world. And what I think is remarkable is I meet a lot of guys that are of service to the world, but they're not of service to the people that are most relative to you. And what stood out to me is David, he brought his wife into the studio in Vegas when we were there, and I could just tell by the look on her eyes, not what he was saying, the look on her eyes when he was saying how important his wife is to him and how important his family is to him. I was watching, because I get to look at her watching him because we're sitting next to each other, and it was the truth. The truth vibrates the fastest. And you know, when
Yep.
you're married and you have 7 children, you know, there's the public face of saying, you know, and we might know a really famous quarterback that for years, you know, look at his social media now. It used to say, this guy may be the GOAT of all times of quarterbacks. It used to say family and football. Now it just says football. And I found that really interesting as
Yep.
my mom asked me one day, what God are you serving? And David Tyree serves the right
Woo!
God. One of
Woo! Both
Woo!
Daves got nuggets today.
Hey, that's bars. See, that's the lane that I've lived in, and I think for me, it's been about intention in relation to understanding what's most sacred is what's most valuable, right? And I think to me, and I think everybody has a chance to choose that, right? You know, but at the end of the day, you know, I can't. There's certain things I just can't get right. I'm not willing to pursue riches, prominence, and glory at the expense of things that I'm only going to get one crack at, whether it's my marriage, my wife, the relationships that have poured into me, and vice versa. So, man, you hit it. What God are you serving? I'm trying to serve my God faithfully.
Yeah, you both are beautiful souls, and I'm definitely the third most handsome cat on this live. Absolutely loving this. Shifting gears for a second, Dave, I was looking at your content because I'm a fan, and obviously I want to get the audience excited. And you talked about this, and the name of the show is The Paradigm Shift, and this was a great one. You said something along the lines of, if you're not living, you'd have nothing to complain about. And that was really cool. Tell us what you mean by that.
Yeah, man. I think that's, you know, we're all looking to, right, and not just social media. There's so many different factors that are creating. I hate to say this word because it's a strong religious word, but it's covetousness. We see so much and we aspire to be so much based on what we see. And I think that we fail to forget that living is the highest, you know, like just having the opportunity to live and move and breathe, to exist. And I think when you live from the space of gratitude, you know, that's where you really begin to maximize every single day when you recognize that there's, you know, when I'm living, I'm creating opportunities. When I'm living, I'm persevering, I'm overcoming, I'm finding that sense of meaning in relation to who and what I was created for. So that removes the complaints, right? And I think when we're not complaining, we're obviously bringing forth that negative energy, and that brings negative relationships. And you know, it's that law of attraction working in operation. So, man, we're living. Let's optimize it and crush life every day.
This is awesome. What are you smiling at, you giddy goose, Dave?
Yeah, you know me, paradigm shift, and why I'm here is that I love to bring people on like David who understand the paradigm shift of, you know, I study all Bibles, and in the Old Testament, there's a word in Hebrew called Adonai, and that means I am that. And to me,
Yep.
that was the major paradigm shift of my life was I am that. So I am that I am happy, I am healthy, I am worthy, I am wealthy even. What am I doing to interfere with it? Where so many people are searching for something that they already had and that they will find in faith that they already have it. And
Yep.
it's kind of productive and intuitive, but if I can get people to watch David Tyree and his content, to look at you, Craig, and me, and some other people of what I am that means, that I am, instead of trying to get more happy, more healthy, more wealthy, more, worthy by overselling, back end selling, lying, manipulating, and cheating, feeling less than instead of I am. So I want everybody to feel I am, not less than.
This is awesome. Straight
Good.
up. Only negative I got going on is we don't have 10 hours to chat. I know it's Saturday. I got to shoot over to the expo to grab the bib, and I know you guys have some family time. So we'll end it with these two final nuggets. Dave Tyree, I'm just curious. I have to ask, compared to other cities, what's the vibe and the energy from the fans in New York compared to other sounds?
Man, I'm big on loyalty. And where you get out of New York is a bunch of loyal wackos. There's nothing like it. Now if you know I'm a Jersey guy, so I'm right next door. So my deepest affections, we get steps. So they try to stepson us a little bit every now and then, but the loyalty, the passion is probably the second word that comes straight to my head in relation to New York City, and that's passion derives from suffering. So when you really think about the history of New York, it's really the ethos of in the evolution of this country, right? Immigrant nation that passionately pursues dreams, and New York is at the epicenter of all that. So, man, I love the New York fans. That's really where I'm at today. I'm just getting back out into the marketplace, sharing stories, getting a chance to people to see who I am, and I want New York, Jersey, of course, to know that the love is real, and this catch was always for them.
Hell yeah. This is awesome. And I love it. We'll land the plane with this. You have an awesome and exciting podcast called Catch the Moment. For the audience listening today, I want them all to subscribe and listen. What can they expect? What's the vibe and what's the energy behind Catch the Moment podcast?
No, I appreciate it, man. It's really about people like yourself, Dave, myself, everyone who's attained a certain measure of success, or maybe even a significant moment like myself. There's a journey behind it. There's a process. There's a little bit of that those suffering pain points and the discovery that delivers them to that moment of success. And we just want to highlight the human experience in a way where, what gets celebrated, what gets the news is when you crush your goal, right? What gets celebrated, what gets the PR is when you actually, when you do the business. They don't talk about when you open a business is great. They don't talk about what it takes to make the business successful. So that's really what it's about. It's about mining out some of the true pearls and diamonds from these individuals' mindset, their life, and their approach to success or significant moments. So, man, make sure they subscribe. We're at an exciting point right now. We're really just starting to retool and get some amazing guests. I got a nice Eric Reed exclusive that we're preparing to drop. He's got a lot of nuggets to say about our NFL ecosystem. So it's gonna be some good guests. Hopefully we got to get you when you get back in Jersey, New York.
Yeah, both of us would be great guests. Dave, I see you smiling. Take us home.
Yeah, well, what I love about the podcast most is that I teach the only limitation of the past is the meaning that we give the inflection points and defining moments of our past. So as I've been able to transcend the bankruptcy I had of losing over $100 million in 2008, that inflection point has a terrific meaning in my life today. Trust me, it did not. And what I love about the catch is that it not only gave meaning as an inflection point for David and the purpose and passion that he has, but millions of people around the world. Millions of people were impacted, and it may have been able to show them that we can give a meaning to an inflection point or defining moment to accelerate and expand beyond our own beliefs or our own feelings. And I think we need more of Dave. We more of the podcast. You need more great guests. Also, I'm going to return the favor. I'll come on that podcast, but you got to come on my TV show. We're going to be filming in October. You can come virtually or in person. We'd love to see you. Please do one thing, though. Send my love to your wife. When I saw you two together, I thought of me and my wife on our 25th anniversary. I was like, when you treat your wife like a queen, you're married to a queen. So please continue that, my friend. Thank you, Craig. Good luck on the marathon tomorrow in Chicago. I'm glad it's you, not me.
Go crush it.
Thank you, guys. I'll make you guys proud. I promise you I'll give it everything I got. Thank you both so much for joining us. David, I look forward to connecting further, and let's have a great weekend, guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Appreciate you.
Do it, man. Y'all keep crushing it, gentlemen. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Appreciate
Bye,
you.
Guys.
Thanks, Craig.
My pleasure. Love you guys.
Love you.
the Paradigm Shift episode 81 in the books. We'll be back for the Paradigm Shift episode 82. And hopefully eventually episode 1,000, because of the commitment and the consistent pursuit, as the articulate alligator Dave likes to talk about all the time. If you guys aren't already, go follow David Tyree. He's a legend. More importantly, he's a great human being, and he's making a difference. And obviously, my co-pilot, my partner in crime, the sex octopus, Dave Meltzer. Go check out all his content, the podcast, the book, all that stuff. And let him know how handsome he is, too, in case he forgot. Chicago Marathon tomorrow. If you guys want, download the Chicago Marathon app. We're going to start about 7:30 in the morning Central Time, so 8:30 Eastern. It's going to be fun. It ain't going to be pretty. They say that the marathon, all the numbers are already done in training camp, and the actual race and celebration. I don't know about that because I'm fully prepared to go to war tomorrow, but it's going to be fun. We're going to earn each and every single mile, 100% blood, sweat, and tears. I live for this stuff. I think it's a good metaphor for life. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations. You control that voice in your head, do the best that you can, and then you grow on the other side of it. I'm going to make you guys proud. I love you. We'll see you next week for the Paradigm Shift episode 82. You dig? Live from Chicago.